Hey guys, welcome back. I'm GoldenKnite and today I'm playing Factory Town. This game is a lot like Factorio, I think was the name, but is not by the same developer. And this one looks like it might be a little bit more fun because it puts a more realistic aspect, where Factorio, I believe, is more in space and you're mining resources there. But the concept is the same. This game did just come out recently. I believe it came out March 15th, but he's been constantly updating it. It was on point 0.096, but now it's on 0.097. It just got an update within 2 days or something of me downloading it, which is awesome. That means the guy is really working on updating it, or the team themselves. Now, I did play this game just a little bit just to get the hang of it, so it's going to look a little bit better than your first go if you end up trying the game yourselves. It is on sale right now, 10% off on Steam, so if you are interested in these types of games, I would recommend getting it now instead of later. So there's several different types of biomes that you can play in here. The scenarios don't really matter. Creative, obviously, you create it yourself. You can just do whatever you want. Advanced makes all the starting biomes a little bit more difficult, I believe. Yeah, so it basically changes it to some of the other more difficult ones, which I think are the ones down here. You can see how some of these would be hard, especially islands. You don't have a lot of room to build anything, so you have to build a lot of it on the islands itself. We're not going to play advanced. We're going to stick with default, but the scenario doesn't mean anything. It's not like you're playing against another opponent, so you don't really have to worry about that. And we're going to stick to the plains and rivers, and we're going to keep the... I guess we'll keep the map size at medium. It's not really... You know, we'll put it at large. We'll do large. We already got our biome, and let's go ahead and... Creative mode is going to be off. Auto place base. We'll make the base place itself, but we're going to smooth the area where it's placed. Just so it makes it easier when we're placed down on where to go. Start state. And these are the different ages you can get into. I don't know anything about the ages yet, so we'll learn that as we go. Let's go ahead and... Oh shit, I pressed the wrong button. Alright, let's go ahead and create the map. So you can see what it looks like. They have tips that will help you out. I do recommend following the tips as you go. But we don't need to read those right now. I don't want to read all the tips. We're just going to play it. So here is our tutorial. When you first start the game, you always have the tutorial, especially now. I don't think there's a way to skip it. So we're going to go through the tutorial just so you guys see what the game's all about. And I'm just scrolling around just so you can see everything that's going on right now. You can buy land from the edges once you get enough coins. I don't really think it's necessary to buy land though. At least not at the beginning, of course. We have a flattened area here. We got some trees, stone, cotton, grain. Actually, I'm going to pause the game. Iron ore. I'm just showing you all the resources. There's herbs as well. We got some apple trees, pear trees, tomato plants, coal, berries. There's stuff everywhere. So the cool thing is, at least we got some grain by us. I'll explain that a little bit more later, why that's useful. And then we also have these mana shards and water stones and different things like that. That's for later on when you expand out far. So the whole point of this game is to build a society that's basically fully functional without people, or you don't need to use as many people as necessary. So we're going to go ahead and start with this. So we have our people. They're the ones with the exclamation points. It basically is just letting you know who's who and who's not doing anything. And we are going to make them just start gathering wood. Now, I'm going to actually have them gather over here because I would like to get over to this grain. We can go around to get to it, but I'm going to just have them start working on that. So, I already know how to work it. If you left click on a worker, right click on a tree, and drag back to your base while you're holding the right click button, it'll make your worker bring that resource to that location. That matters a lot in this game, so remember how to do that. If you forget, it will be in the tutorial, but you don't want to forget how to do that, or you'll just start actually wasting a lot of time, because these people need to be directed on where to go. So let's go ahead and start that. They're going to start getting the wood now. And you have your population up here and stuff, so I'll point out that. You have your population, you have how many houses you can build, and you have your happiness. Happiness are based on houses. You have your economy stuff right here. It looks like, yeah, so we have, let's see. Well, we're already done with this first one, so let's just go ahead to the next one. So now we have to build a house. The house is right here, but you can get into the building menu with B. I'm just going to use the hotkeys right now. Houses, they don't necessarily have to be close to anything. We're going to go ahead and build a house. What is that, an herb? We're going to build a house right here. We want it to be close to food, But afterwards, we're going to make a marketplace, so it won't matter. We just need to make sure it's around the marketplace. But we're going to place this guy here. And I'm going to make a couple of other houses too, because we have the resources to do it. And we're going to keep these nice and packed together because I don't want to waste space. And we're waiting for a little bit more wood. I think we just need one more piece. And we need 15 to make another house. I just want to max out our house usage. Boom. Okay, we got another house. So we're good there. So you can press escape to get out of those menus when you're done. So we have our houses up. So we're gonna click that. Now we have to create workers. And with these workers, we're gonna have them gain grain, and they're gonna bring the grain to the houses to up the happiness level. You can see how they're not happy right now. But once we start getting happiness, we'll actually start getting money from them, which is obviously very important. So let's go ahead. We'll place one worker per house. There we go. And I will grab, drag, and go to the house. Grab, drag, go to the house. Actually, I'm going to pause this so they're not in the way so much. Grab, drag, go to that house. And grab, drag, we'll go to this house. Cool. So they are bringing food to the house now. Let's go ahead on to the next one. Now, when you're doing your tutorial, you have to go through the tutorial, like I said, and you don't get any of the special stuff. It's all locked until you unlock it later through the tutorial, I believe. So you want to make sure you do the tutorial at the beginning. Maybe in advanced mode, you won't have to do that, or maybe creative mode, it won't let you do, or you can get past it. But as default, I know you have to do the tutorial. So building paths makes us move resources faster. We're going to go ahead and connect these guys. Footpaths take, I believe, wood to build. So let's go ahead and rotate our camera here. And we're going to connect these. Rotate our camera this way. And there we go. So we have ourselves a connection to our main base, which doesn't matter at the moment, but it's still good that we have those connected. It will matter more when we have to start delivering stuff around. Connect that. Build the lumber mill. So a lumber mill is very useful, obviously, to make planks. I mean, I'm sure you guys know how a lumber wall works. They already have it on the hotkey down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this. And we're gonna wanna make this, I guess we'll make this right by our base here. I'll probably put the lumber mill here, and then there's a stone mill you can make later. Like I said, I played this game a little bit, so I understand it a little bit more for you guys. And you can build directly on the water. So I'm going to try to do that. A lumber mill takes stone. So I need to go ahead and actually make stone because I don't have any stone yet. So we have to start gathering stone. We have enough population to make more workers. So I'm just going to go ahead and place 2 workers to work on stone. And we'll tell them to go here. They'll automatically take it to the nearest location. But like I said, get in the habit of telling them where to go, because if you don't, it can cause a problem in the long run. Let's go ahead and connect this. And I want to leave that path open so I can use that to go directly across over to here. So we'll just try to put this, I think right here is good. Let me make sure it's not, that's a good height. I like that. So I can't build it there just yet. It looks like if you look over in the bottom left down here, you can see what it requires for you to build this. So when I build it on the solid land itself, oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that. All right, we'll look into that more later. But if you look at this, it says I don't need anything except for what I have. But if you build it on the land, I need planks to do that. I can't make planks until I have this. So we're gonna have to go ahead and put this on dry land for now. We can always move it later. So we're gonna put it right here then. And we can tell the lumber mill to make planks. And then we will have to actually take a guy and make him move stuff back and forth from here to there, and vice versa. I don't know if you can make the same guy do the same thing, like, so we can't like take it from here and drop it off here and then take it from there and go back. I don't think. If you guys know a way to do that, then you can tell me, but I don't know how to do that just yet. So actually what we're gonna do instead, we will have this guy take these out to here, but there's nothing in there now. But we're going to make these people, instead of bringing the wood into here, we have plenty of wood. We have 145. If you look in the top right up here, it will tell you what you have in there. There's your inventory. So we have 150 wood going into there right now. We don't need more wood in there right now. You only need those logs for houses. We can get more of that later. I'm going to put them directly into the lumber mill. So we're going to go ahead and pause the game. It's the easiest way to do this. And we'll right click and drag. And do the same thing for the other guys. I'm trying to grab the trees that are closest right now. Now when I do it, they'll continue to work. And then they're going to go right over to the mill and drop off stuff. And you can see the planks are being made right now. And you can see the input right here. And then there's the output. Now the output will get backlogged if you don't have someone moving stuff back and forth. It can hold up to like 10 or something. I'm not exactly sure. But later you can make it so this does this stuff automatically for you. So you don't have to waste your time doing all this stuff yourself. But like I said, the whole point of this game is to automate things. And go on to the next thing since we have that going. So we have upgrade house. So upgrading the house is a lot better than building a new house because you know, you don't have to take up space and you don't have to give them all food. You only give them the same amount of food. So we're gonna go ahead and upgrade this house now. We have the planks that we need here. And it gives us more of a population limit now without even having to build new houses. We are gonna upgrade all these houses actually. I would like to get them all to level 2. So we just need a couple more planks here and we should be able to get this one up. All right, cool. So all of our houses are now level 2. So that increases our population limit. So now we can work on upgrading our base. We need to get more planks to upgrade our base, and we need to get our happiness to 4. We are actually at 4 because we built 4 houses that worked out perfectly, and they're all getting food right now. They can get happier than 1. I think they can get happier, like they can get up to like 2 or 3. I don't know. I haven't played the game long enough to actually give that answer, but all we're waiting for are basically this guy. And it looks like he's actually getting backlogged with input. So we can assign more workers to shoot out more of this stuff at once. So we're going to up this until our input is about equal because we want to make sure that those people are taking stuff over there and not getting stopped. If we're doing that, you can either do this where you turn this up or you can take someone off of here and put it into something else. But it looks like we can upgrade our base now, so we can go ahead and do that. We increase the house max by upgrading our base by 4. And the new building unlocked is the food market. Food markets are very important. That's actually probably going to be our next task. And it is. So food markets allow you to get food directly from the market and it supplies it to the houses without the houses having to go anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and we have a good location here actually. So we're going to go into our buildings, food market. And as long as the food market is around our houses, you can see how it has a giant circle. I'm going to zoom out so you can see that a little easier. As long as the houses are in the circle, they'll automatically get supplied food. So you want to keep your village around the markets. And there's also a general store and stuff you can make as well later, and it's good to know that ahead of time. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to put this right here. And I just want to make sure we have enough room to get a pathway through. And we do. So we're going to go ahead and leave it just like this. This is perfect. Actually, I think I'll push it back 1. And then we'll connect that really quick with a road. Just so it makes anything moving across there a little bit faster. Now I'm going to pause it because what we want to do now is we want to take these people getting all this grain and we want to make sure they're bringing it to the market. Because if they're bringing it directly to the house, the market, people can't buy anything from the market because the market's not getting anything. And since the market is supplying to the houses, you no longer have to take food directly to them. The only reason you'd want to do that is if for whatever reason they're not getting something and you have to take it directly to them. So we're going to go ahead and select him. We'll drag this to the market. We'll do the same thing with these other guys. Drag that over there, and it looks like he's grabbing from there. We'll drag him over there as well. So now they're going to take the stuff to the market, and these people will buy it from the market, which is much more efficient, and we don't have to worry about the houses anymore as long as we continually get food. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. We got a grain mill. Now, a grain mill is very important. I'm going to pause the game really quick so I can talk about this. So a grain mill allows you to make more advanced food. So when we go in here, we have our grain mill right here. So you want your grain mill to be close to your grain, obviously. So if you're going to have farms, you want to make sure it's by your farms. I'll probably end up having a farm over here because this is flatter land than over here. This is kind of lumpy. You can flatten the land later, but we're not going to waste money on that yet. But the upside to this is we can actually send stuff right into our market. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate this, and we're going to push it out this way. And we'll end up having like a chute system, because if you see number 3, it's a chute. And you can actually shoot that stuff right into the market, so you don't even have to carry it over there. Now, I didn't know about this in the future, but it goes right out that front door. So where that arrow is where the chute's going to shoot out. So we're going to put this right here, and then we'll end up taking the grain actually over to the mill, so we can give food to here, which will be more efficient than, you know, using grain directly in the market, because we don't need it for that. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't want to put them right on top of each other because it's kind of congested like that. We're going to do that. We're going to make them make flour. Animal feed is for later. And then we're going to build a chute, and you can see the output right there. It has an arrow coming out, and then around here you can see all the arrows coming in. So there's no output for this, but there's an input. So as long as I hit one of these arrows, it will put it into the base. So we're going to do this, drag, and you can see this chute. So whenever they create flour, it will go right into the market, so I don't have to move it there myself. Obviously, you don't need to put it this far away. You can put it closer if you want to, but I did that just so you can see it a little bit easier. And then at the same time, since these people don't need to worry about this anymore, we're going to now take this, make sure they're bringing it over here. And I'm actually have these guys start grabbing from right there. And there's another person, there he is. I guess we'll have him grab and pull from there. Cool. So now everyone, and you can see how when you hover over this too, it shows you who's taking things from where, which is nice, so you can easily track people. But you can see no one's bringing anything to the market anymore, but this should automatically deliver to the market as we go. So we're going to go to the next thing. I know it's still paused. So sell flour. This is where it just talks about the flour, so we just need to make flour. So we're going to unpause for now. We are still looking really good when it comes to this. Now the output of this can go directly into our base, and we will do that in a little bit. I don't want to do it just yet. I just want to make sure that it's going right in, and if you look at that, you can see the flour is being made and is shooting right down into there. If it was getting stuck in here, you'd see it. So, you see how it disappeared? So you'd see if it got stuck in there, so it basically means it's working. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause the game, and we are actually going to readjust this guy right here. We want to move this. Whoop. So we want to move this guy over to here, and we want to make sure that this is pushing directly into the base right here. Now there's multiple ways you can do this, but let me see if I can. I know you can build these bases up in the air, and I want to see how you do that. So we're going to figure that out first. Because if I can build it up in the air and have it coming down directly on top of the base, that's going to be much more useful. Okay, actually I did find something, and I didn't know this. So I know the chutes don't work with everything, but here's a prime example of that. The lumber mill makes planks, and the chute, it can't go down here. Now this, it works out perfectly. It can go down the chute, but planks cannot. And it gives a big, basically no-goes button here. It says building will output item that is not compatible with chute. So to alleviate that, I mean, obviously we have other things. Once we make paper, that may be available with the chute, but I don't know. So really we can't put this up and get it running. So we're just gonna go delete this by hitting the delete key. And then we can also delete these paths, or these chutes that I made up, and we'll just go ahead and reconnect this path. So it looks like we can't actually do that, not yet. So we'll have to continue to do everything manually here until we have, I think they have conveyor belts that you can make. So we're gonna go ahead, we already sold flour, we're gonna click the check mark and go on to the next one. It says to build a workshop. Now a workshop we can use to make wheels and things like that, which are gonna be very useful. So we're gonna go ahead and go straight into the buildings and go to workshop. And we're gonna put that across from the lumber mill because, well, you can put it next door. Do we wanna put it next door? Yeah, we'll put it across from the lumber mill. So the reason we're putting it across from the lumber mill is because the workshop actually needs to have, you know, those planks to build stuff. And you can see how I unlocked some different things, but it requires stuff as well. The wagon is a very important one. We'll look at this other stuff later. But we're gonna go ahead and look at the wagon first. I believe that's the next one on there. So you can see all the stuff that we can make in here, and it tells you the resources that you need. And I don't have a lot of this. Bandage, I guess. No, that's cloth. So a lot of this we don't have, but this will make, like, obviously a wooden axe would make chopping down trees faster. Things like that. But we're gonna go up to this one. This is what really matters, is the wood wheels. And we can get a bunch of wheels to make wagons, and wagons move a lot faster than people and hold more. So we're gonna go ahead and set that already. We'll click the check mark, and it's also gonna tell us to build a barn. And what we're gonna end up doing is, since we already have a nice stock load, we have 31 in there right now. Let's turn this back up to 4. And we're going to need someone who's actually going to take the output from there to here. So we're going to actually change this guy to just take this next door for now. And we'll have to get more planks in here eventually, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. I want these planks to go right over into the workshop first until we get some wheels made up, and then we'll stop that later. So we'll just let that go for now. He's just going to start moving stuff across back and forth as fast as possible. Now a barn is a shared storage space just like this. So barns are useful when you run out of storage, obviously. We only have so much storage in here. And you can build in locations that are farther away from other spots, just so you have extra space. It wants me to build a barn. I don't think it's necessary to build a barn right yet, but let's go ahead and find where we can place this. So I'm gonna go ahead and just chuck the barn over here. It doesn't really matter where we place this right now. I don't even feel like I need it right now because I haven't run out of storage space here. But we might need it later just to store more stuff. But it'll be nice whenever you start to advance your civilization. You'll probably want maybe your town center to have specific resources, but since these are all shared among each other, you'd want like this barn to get, you know, wood, and then you know, this barn to have iron ore, and then this barn to have stone. And by doing that, you'll ensure that you always have a stockpile of that resource, and then you can always move stuff from there as well. But placing right now, I just don't feel it's necessary. It's completely up to you if you feel there's a good idea for it, but we're gonna ignore that. We're just gonna drop it down. We'll probably place something later. We also have the wagon that we're gonna create, and I already know we're working on this. So what we need to end up doing is, I actually didn't assign a worker to this. We need to grab another guy, and we need to take him, hover over here. We need to make sure he's taking the wheels out of here and take him over to the base over here. Because right now it has an output of 4. We have the wheels, but they're not actually leaving here, and eventually he'll get backlogged. So we're going to go ahead and start the game, or unpause the game, and he's going to start moving that stuff on over. You only need 4 of them, I believe, to make a wagon, which will help us out. Well, actually, it won't help right now. It's probably going to force us to make the wagon. Yeah, so we got 4 in there. So we can go ahead and make a wagon now. But like I said, it's kind of pointless to make a wagon at this time because all my stuff is so close together. Moving things around isn't really going to matter. But the wagon is under workers. So if you hit B to go into build, and I think you can actually hit, what, W? No. Yep. If you go B to go into build, or no. Yeah, B to go into build, and then go to workers. And then you got your wagon right here. So we'll go ahead and place this just so we have it. But I don't really have a location to use this just yet. Maybe if I start mining from over here to get this grain, that could be useful. I could put a wagon here. So we'll just go ahead and place them down. We'll let them sit there for a second so we can build a bridge right there. Let's check out the next one. So we have a supply chute. We already built a supply chute right over here. You can build them just about anywhere. It depends on what you're outputting. You can actually have them so they roll like wood right into a lumber mill and stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and use this wagon right now to start working on the grain, and then I will work on getting a supply chute as well. So give me just a minute to set that all up. Now something important to note is you need a wood bridge to actually go across the water. I think it stays at the same level the whole way across. Let's zoom in there and see if it actually does, or if I have to build. I may have to build something down there. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna go ahead and make a stonemason. I built my bridge here, but I need to get workers, and I wanna wait until this is mined out before I send the workers down here. So we're gonna go ahead and build this because we need to get this later anyway. So I'm just gonna get a jump on it now. We're gonna build him close to here. We don't wanna get in the way of the path. So we'll drop that guy down, and these guys will start bringing stone directly to here. And then this guy, we're gonna have actually send his stuff directly out to, hold on. I'm gonna have to move this location because I need to make sure it's directly in front of here, because we want the chute to shoot out and go directly into there, but I don't want to block the path here. So I need to think of a more efficient way to do this that's not getting in the way. And we'll go ahead and just do it anyway. It's kind of in the way, but you can still get around by going this way and whatever. So it's fine. We can move it later. We'll pick the recipe as a stone brick, just so we can start getting stuff going there. We already have that set, and... oh, okay. Never mind. Can't do that. The chute won't work. So we can just go ahead and delete these then. Like I said, I'm still learning to see like what's gonna work and what won't. So we're just gonna do that. And they'll take the stuff there, and we'll just have to get a worker to move that stuff on over. And we'll use this guy as our worker, even though it's kind of pointless on this short distance, but it's better than nothing. And let's go. So we still have to make the supply chute somewhere, so I'm going to figure that out. Alright, so what I end up doing instead of putting a supply chute over there, I just put it over here. I feel this is kind of pointless, but we had to do it for our next objective anyway. So basically what these guys will do is while they're mining here, they'll put it right into this area of the supply chute. And then it will go straight into there. So they don't have to walk technically all that way, which isn't that far anyway, but it's just something that just makes things a little bit more convenient for us. But we'll go on to the next one here, and we can upgrade the base again. And I think we need to do stone to do that. And we are working on stone now. And we need to get our happiness up. We're only at 4. So we will need to create more houses, which we can easily do. So we'll make some more houses around the market. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have some houses made. I just butted these up together. It looks like I'm making a little village right here, which is what we want because of this guy. So we have our house limit. We just need to get our happiness up, and the happiness will get up as soon as we upgrade these houses to the next level. We need a general goods store too, so I'm going to look at that. Can we make that yet? Looks like we can't make anything there just yet, so all we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these houses to level 2 just to increase our population more, especially since we already have the planks. It doesn't hurt to do that. So we have all level 2 houses. We'll wait for those to get food, and then it should allow us to upgrade to the next level. And that also gives us time to get our stone bricks in, because that'll take a little bit of time. I believe this guy's already moving it, yeah. He literally won't have to go anywhere, which is just kind of funny. It just goes back and forth. Kind of pointless. We'll use those wagons more. They're more important when you're traveling long distances. But since I automated some things already, it makes things a little bit easier. Alright, we just got one more. So once another thing of flour gets in there, they're happy now. Perfect. We may have to make another grain mill, but I don't want to make one just yet until we have some farms, which we'll make over in this area. But these guys are still doing good. I'm pretty happy with them. Yeah, it looks like the happiness is down right there, so I might not be getting enough food at a time, but we'll find out in just a minute. I'm not worried about that at the moment. We're waiting for our stone. Okay, we got our stone now, so we can upgrade. We're just looking for 8 on our happiness. You can see some people are a little unhappy, probably because we're not making enough food to get into the market. So we will have to make that second grain mill, which we will right now. So actually, let's see how much. The thing is, we're going to have to get more grain if we do that. So we might want to think about seeing if there's another way to grab some food. So what I ended up doing is I built a second grain mill. I'm going to see if this chute works properly. I have them combining into one right here. Looks kind of funny. So that one does still shoot across. We'll see if this one shoots out though, like we want it to. Yes, it is shooting out and turning and going the right way. The overlap looks a little funny, but it does work the way it's supposed to. So we have basically this one's being supplied by the people, and then that one's being supplied by the cart, which is coming from this guy over here. So that got our happiness up, so we can now upgrade our base. It increases our house, so we can make more houses, which is perfect. We'll have to get these out of the way because I want to expand the village this way to stay around the market. And then we have a school and the general store, which will go by the market as well, which is perfect. Go ahead and check that. Build the general store, which makes sense. That's going to be our next move. The general store is the same thing as the market. You have to build it in a general area. Let's take a look at that. So you can see if we build it right here, technically it would encompass that area, which is perfect. So we'll probably end up doing that since we have the room here. We do need to supply the general store with resources as well. I believe you have to bring like stone or something to it. So it's good to keep it in a location where it's in between both of them, so you don't have to go as far to supply it with resources. We go ahead and drop that down there, so they're all going to have access to the general store. And we can check off that. And to earn red coins, you have to bring something to the general store. And you can see, let's see, right up here, I think it, no, where can you select this? The economy tab. So if we select down here in the economy tab, it tells us stuff from here is what will give us red coins. So if we put this in the store, we'll get red coins. The egg, fish, you know, all that stuff. We're actually going to go ahead and put, where is it? We want to put stone in there. So the stone brick, if we start moving it into the store, it will give us 1 red coin, which we need to upgrade stuff later. So we'll go ahead and start moving bricks over there. I'm probably going to take one of our guys here because we don't need all these people doing this. So take that, we have some stone brick here, and we'll move that into here. And that will get us moving on that, so we can start earning some red coins. I just noticed the wagons go through the people, so you don't have to worry about that. Looks like we are starting earning some red coins because we're bringing this stuff over. And you can see how the happiness went up because we're supplying these houses with both food, and we're supplying them with that stone brick as well, which we have coming in from here. So we're hopefully producing it fast enough. We might actually have to make another stonemason produce it quicker, or you know what, we can probably increase this as well. I'm gonna go ahead and make some more workers, and then we're gonna increase this just a little bit, just to make sure that when the increase of this, the increase of the input will match the output, because they only make it so fast. Now we have to build a school. So a school lets us research stuff. Let me go ahead and go to the school. It's gonna take some stone actually for this, so I don't think I have any. I don't have enough stone, so one of these people are gonna have to bring stone to here. So we're gonna get him working on that. This is why you have to pay attention, and that's why it's good to have like extra things somewhere. So in the barn would be a perfect spot for that, because I'm moving everything from here right now. But we should get enough in just a minute to make this school. So what is that? Just, yeah, regular stone. Let's go ahead and click this. Now the school, I believe you have to bring it paper. We'll put the school right by the village as well, so we'll put it right here. Yeah, so we have paper. Now when we bring the school paper, we'll be able to unlock stuff. So I want to unlock farming, and then I'll also have to unlock something else, but we're going to do farming first, so we'll check that off. And we're going to have to start making a second lumber mill, because lumber mills are what are used to make paper, but I don't want to stop my plank production. I don't really need any more wheels, I don't think, either. What do we have? We have 9 wheels. Yeah, we'll probably have to make some more. So it's definitely worth building a second lumber mill now. So I'm going to go ahead and start working on that so we can start supplying things with paper. Now, the good thing is, this is something I wanted to note once we had the ability to do so. It looks like if you have a blue block like that on the land, it means it automatically supplies this with water. And you can see the building turned blue. And that's nice because to make paper, you need water. So I won't have to bring water to this building. I literally just have to bring wood to it. And the wood will automatically be changed, and then they can take the wood over to the school. I don't think paper can move on a chute, though. So I think we're going to have to take that manually over there. You can also build a well to have the water there, too. But since it's right on the water, we're just going to leave it right here because this is a good spot for it. And we're going to switch this on over to paper. And let's go ahead and pause it, and let's build this up really quick. So we're getting the water we need. I'm curious to see if a paper will move. No, paper will not move on a chute, so we can't do that. So basically what we want to do is just make a walking path over to the school. So we'll just do that, and we'll just have it go on over there. We could make another wagon to do that, but since it's such a short distance, I don't think that's necessary. So I'm just going to make a person take it over there. So I'll have them take paper on over to the school. And we'll have one of these people take wood on over to here. And we really don't need this chute. I'm going to get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and let that, yeah, there we go. And one of these people are getting confused. Yeah, he's confused now because he doesn't know where to take his stuff. So we're going to go ahead. We want the paper, so we're going to move this over here as well. And then we'll continue on working. And now every time this school gets a piece of paper, it will start working on upgrading it. That's what we need. We already crafted some paper right there, and you can see it just took it over. We're going up 1 level. Once it gets to level 25, we'll research farming. And you can have multiple recipes going at once, so if you have a ton of paper coming in, it can do multiples. While this one's going up, they'll bring more paper in and it'll work on the next one. Or you can stack them in order of what you want to do next. let's go on to the next one, complete research, which we're just doing that. So we're just gonna let this roll until we get that done. And it looks like we're actually out of grain. So it's good that we're starting to work on that because these people are running way away from places just to get more food, which is fine by me. I'd rather actually them to take it from here. So we're gonna tell him to take it from here and then take it to there. And I want this guy to do the exact same thing. Take it from here and bring it on over there. Farmland allows you to regrow these plots so you don't have to do it yourself, I think. I'm not certain though. But anyway, so we're just going to start doing that first until we get the farmland up, and we'll just start clearing out this because I'm not going to be building anything here. We're really just waiting for the research over here, which will take a little bit of time. So we're just about to go up to our next level here. And you guys see I made a path here to make the walking a little bit quicker. But we got a new building, unlocked farm, which is perfect. And new research available is the animal pasture, which we'll need. So we're going to go ahead and farms will automatically harvest nearby resources, so you don't have to harvest them yourself, and replant them when depleted. Farm tiles, water, and fertilizer will speed crop regrowth. So these ones automatically regrow, but the other things will make it a little bit faster if I make a farm tile and stuff like that. But we're going to go ahead and I want to work on we're going to go with an animal pasture. And the reason we're going with this is because we can get fertilizer from it. And that's the end of the tutorial right there. So we're going to build a couple more things here. I'm going to see if I can get a farm up and show you a couple more of the things before we end the demo right here. Well, it's not a demo. I'm demoing it for you guys, but you can buy the full version of the game on Steam. But we'll go ahead and get the farm up and stuff just so you can see how that works. Okay guys, so it looks like I'm actually going to stop here. So this is where I've got, I actually sunk a lot of time in here trying to build stuff up. It's not a fast-paced game. We went pretty quick at the beginning, but once you start wanting to get like advanced things like metallurgy and medicine and things like that, it takes much longer than expected. You can see how I automated a lot of the stuff. You can build bridges underneath things. So I have this chute system going underneath. This guy goes over top. These stone pathways actually make everything go a lot faster. I have this just shooting things out. I built some farm things up here, and I actually ended up putting farm land underneath a lot of the crops I'm harvesting because they'll regrow a lot faster. So I won't deplete that. I ended up building basically conveyor systems everywhere I can. So we have a farm here that goes to a grain mill, which goes to a pasture, which I can use to make fertilizer. The fertilizer goes in here, and that's how I made all the farmland. Over here, I have it picking cotton. The cotton goes right into the workshop, makes cloth, and the cloth, I'll show you how I made a conveyor belt. But that heads over to the workshop to make shirts, and the shirts go over to the general store, which can be sold to the people, and that's why these people are so happy. That gives me like 10, each shirt sold gives me 10 red coins, which is completely worth it. The next thing I started doing is the forester will automatically harvest trees, and then on top of harvesting trees, it will replant them after they die. So you put that right by a nice forest crop, you don't have to worry about them dying. It's good to put that away from your village because you obviously don't want the trees in the way. I have the chute going into the lumber mill. The lumber mill has a conveyor belt that will send off planks. The planks will make wheels. The wheels go into this workshop. And then we have this guy picking the cotton. The cotton goes into cloth, and the cloth makes the conveyor belt. So I ended up having people standing here wherever the conveyor belt's moving the stuff until I had the conveyor belts, and then I took those people and I got rid of them and replaced them with conveyor belts. So this is all automated now, and this stuff will regrow by itself as well. Once they pick it, dry, it will replant the stuff for you. And then you can see I have some people walking things back and forth here. I didn't need to put anything specific here because the output's so slow that he can just walk it. And then I end up, actually I'm basically dry on stone here. So I have a guy bringing stone on over to the workshop, but I also have a cart taking stone to the general store because I'm trying to make money off of that as well. So there's a lot of stuff here, and that's barely even scratching the surface. So these are the buildings that I have to work with, and I don't even know what a crate is yet. I guess you can move it, I don't know. But down here you see you have all of these options still, and a lot of these do a lot of stuff for you automatically, but I don't know what it does completely. I mean, if you hover on top of it, it'll tell you regenerate supply of nearby natural resources using transmitted earth mana power. Wow. So that's how you... So this is basically how you keep your natural resources going. Eventually you can go up to here, and then eventually it'll be 100% automated, and you don't have to do anything, really. Building this consumes water mana energy to produce units of water. So it produces water, which is weird. Can you run out of water? Fire energy to produce units of magma that can be used to create fuel. Cool. Erases any item that is deposited into it. Void obelisk. That's creepy. Mana reactor creates powerful omni stones from charged elemental stones. Can you run out of water? Oh no, I don't think so. I'm on here, so I don't think you can run out of water. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe you can run out of water. Can I deplete this lake? I mean, it goes pretty far out. I don't really think I can. But yeah, so you can see there's a bunch of stuff there. There is also workers. We have a couple of things you can get. Paths. These are the paths that I have right now, but these are the ones you can get. Farming. Lots of farming stuff. This stuff you can't do. This is, I think, if you're in creative mode. But you can plant all of this stuff. Structural blocks. These are just things to build. When you want to build over top of things, you need to use pillars to get it up, and it will go around your chutes and your pathways. And then you can build an arch over top of it, and then put something on top of there. If you have... I think if you put a bridge too, that works as well. You don't have to put an arch. So a bridge will... Well, actually, that's what you'd want. An arch is what you'd use for a... Oh, what's it called? Like a building or something like that. We got logistics blocks. So you can actually tell things to go specific ways. So you have a barrier, so it stops things from going a specific way. And then you have one ways. And then you have all this stuff too. So it basically introduces some programming language there. Compute blocks, which I don't have yet. Tools, which you get automatically. You can cut, grow, remove resources. I don't recommend removing resources unless they're absolutely in the way. Like a tree or something, because you might need that resource. But sometimes it's in the way and you do have to do that. And then of course you have decor if you want to make it look nice. You know they're going to put a lot more here than what they have, and I'm sure he's going to have day and night cycles later. Remember, this is an early access and it was just released, so there's a whole bunch that's probably going to be implemented. So I'll continue playing on this, and hopefully as it goes, I get the new stuff and I can just continue to build onto this town. But this is all I have right now. We can zoom down all the way to this level. It looks really cool. I like it. I like the depth perception. They did blur out things that are farther away. So you basically see everyone doing specific things. It's very interesting. But the whole point is you want to make these conveyor lines just so you don't have to do anything. You don't have to have people. So, I mean, I guess you can mesh your whole town together if you wanted to. Eventually that would be what you'd want to do, but I don't know. And you can build or purchase more land. I don't know what happens because I don't see anything going out there. But I'm guessing when you purchase it, it gets rid of the fog of war, and then you can see all the resources that are in that area. So if you start running out of resources, I guess that's your option. But you can see there's a ton of resources. And you don't even have to have paths. You can really build wherever you want. I can build out here and start getting all this stone. And then I can put a barn right next to it. And they'll put all the stone right in the barn, and then bam, I have my polished stone. And I don't even have to I don't even have to move it around. So I can use anything that's local to move over to other places. Otherwise, you know, you don't need to do that. You only need to build pathways when you want to move things to like another location or things like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and also, you know, go in and try out the game yourself. He doesn't have a demo just yet, I don't think, but I believe it only costs like $17 if you like these types of games. I do. They're very relaxing for me, and the music's really nice. But like I said, if you're not interested in it, keep an eye on mine, and I will just continue to show you all that's involved with it. And I'm assuming it's going to be worth the $20 after this guy gets out of early access. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, huzzah!